We have something special. In fact, what we're doing today, I'm going to make sure that she gets on, and I'll check in with her when you do your thing, Brian, but I'll just
Okay.
finish introducing. We have a special way that we're going to do the breakout today. And so that means that there are going to be a few of you that are going to get a list of questions ahead of time. We're going to tell you what you'll be doing with those when it's time. Okay. But for starters, I just want to welcome everyone to the Club Life Coffee. I'm so happy to see all these familiar faces. You all are awesome. And I think it's okay. Well, we'll see. We'll see, Brian, if we can announce. But
Okay.
um,
All right.
I'm happy to have Brian Harrison as such a good friend of mine, and all of you know him too, except maybe one person that just joined us. But I am just really happy that he is my friend. We talk every Monday, and we talk a little bit through the week, and he is just there for me. He will be there for you if you need business advice, if you need connections, if you need solutions. And so please give it up for my friend and probably yours, Mr. Brian Harrison.
Wow, that was
Woo!
excellent. Man, you get better at that all the time. I've just got to keep adding to my resume. I do. It's just amazing. Dr. Susan, my lovely producer, thank you so much. Is it all right? I'm going to do it now. Is that okay?
Sure.
All right. So, folks, you know how you meet someone and within 30 seconds, if you've not had this pleasure or this gift, within 30 seconds, you know that person is going to be an amazing individual in your life going forward. And that just happened with me, with this young lady as my producer, Dr. Susan Harrison. Within 30 seconds, we knew we were going to be best buds and business cohorts and cohorts in crime and all that stuff. So we pulled off a few capers that no one knows about. But what I wanted to do this morning, and it's out on the web. She just got engaged over the weekend. Yay! Dr. Harrison, you know what? You can't change your last name. I'm sorry. You cannot. Maybe hyphenate. You can't change.
Yes. Yeah.
All
I'm
right.
going to just keep it for Harrison for all of the professional stuff. Yes. Absolutely.
Congratulations. So I don't think no, I'm going to say this. I've never seen you this happy. That is just wonderful. It does my heart great, great joy, and it makes it absolutely soars. And I see you married the love of your life, and that is so cool. If we get an opportunity in life to do that, she took that opportunity, and so she's moving forward. So I just want to congratulate her. She's always so kind, so warm, so welcoming on all this. I just wanted to do that. So welcome to the worldwide global Club Life Coffee. So thank you guys for spending money with us. Every Monday I say this, I truly do. And this is our tagline. If you don't learn something today,
you aren't listening.
Thank you, Dr. Susan. Now everybody else can fill in. Are you going to be one of these blushing to be brides that you're going to be off and forever la la for a while before? I'm just kidding. I'm kidding.
I don't know what you're talking about. I've
I
never
don't
in
either.
Land.
Well, you didn't finish my sentence. Come on. What the heck? Anyway, thank you for being here, folks. I think we don't have a whole lot of housekeeping other than I do want to reach out real quick here to West Kowalczyk in the Great Wide North. And we do have a sponsor this month. And I'm going to go ahead and introduce him because I think it would really be bad luck if I didn't do this. And I mean this sincerely. I've known this guy that's sponsoring this month, our coffee. And he already knew. I know he's rolling his eyes there. Right there, Timothy Taylor. So when I met him, he goes, "Hi." Yeah, I said, "Hey, I'm Brian Harrison." Fine. He goes, "I'm Tim Taylor." I went, "Your name is Tim Taylor?" He goes, "Yeah." I said, "You're the tool man." He goes, "You want to know one better?" I said, "Yeah." His middle name is Allen. So his name is Tim Allen Taylor. How in the hell can you do more than that? So he is the tool man. And every time I introduce him to someone, I have to use that. And if I don't, it's going to be bad luck. So
it has been 10 years now that you've been doing that.
And it doesn't embarrass you, but I guarantee you people remember his name. He is our sponsor this month. So quickly, Mr. Tim, get 60 seconds. And then I'm going to throw it to Wes real quick. So tell us about you.
So I am part of the Wealth Patriots group, which we help not only individuals build wealth, but we also are able to help employers retain their employees. I've made a comment before in regards to at the club that if you have a 401k, an IRA, or even a Roth now, you have a tax problem. And we have solutions. We don't really focus on products, but we focus on solutions on how we can come alongside of you and help you take your tax deferred dollars and make them tax-free dollars. And with everything that's in the news, we are a nation that's nearly $37 trillion in debt. And we can help you turn around to where you can build a wealth that will last for legacy. So there you go.
Outstanding. Thank you, Mr. Tim, the Toolman Taylor. And you knew I could not go by without doing that. You knew it. You already knew that.
I did.
I did. Down and sealed it in an envelope. Karnak, up there. So, hey, real quick before we go to Wes, we've got two guests this morning, as I understand it. Dan, are you on here? Have you been on before?
Hey, me?
Yeah. Oh, you have been on before.
Absolutely. Yeah. Hey, what's up? Yeah.
Hey, Dan, how you doing, man? Thank you so much for coming from the East Coast. Yeah, the East Coast. So, just quickly tell us about you, real quick again.
Yeah. 30 seconds. Hi, everybody. Nice to meet you. Yeah, so I specialize in helping people go viral on social media, and every single client I've worked with, I have made go viral, anywhere from 500,000 to 50 million views for one video. So yeah, I really enjoy content creation. I think a lot of people are, they know they need to do it and they're overwhelmed by it. It's awkward and scary to put a phone in front of you and film yourself. But I make that process really natural and easy. I help people find their personality, their style, and yeah, and I just really enjoy doing that. So yeah, if anybody needs any help, any tips with content creation, I'm here to help.
Thank you, Dan. I'm sorry I didn't see your face and I didn't have the last name. So thank you for doing that. I've gotten to know this young man, pharmacy background. He was a legal drug dealer, a pharmacy degree, but he's really, really good in this IT area and really does know what he's doing to help people really take it to the next level. Sarah, you are a guest also. Yes.
Ryan, I'm so sorry to interrupt before you get to Sarah.
I hope you do.
Our guest is having a little trouble connecting, so I'm gonna go off of here for a second. I'll be able to listen when you cue me for the breakouts, but I'm gonna be working on that.
Okay, thank you. Well, we'll move forward here. We can slow down. I always try to jam everything in, but we'll go out. We're going to go to that 5-minute get to know people, as a get to know breakout. But Sarah, is it first time on?
Yes, first time here at the national meeting. I recently joined the Columbia, Missouri chapter.
Well, welcome to the ACA family. So you have ACA DNA is what they say, right?
Yes.
All right, I love it. What a smile. I see why they select you. Lily and John do a good job down that way, plus all their other folks. So
yes.
Quick, tell us about you.
My name is Sarah Hackman. I'm based in Central Missouri, Columbia, Missouri, and I run a creative studio called Hackman Creative. A lot of businesses get caught up in jargon and the talking about the specs and functions over how products and services are actually solving the problems for their clients and customers. I help businesses clarify their marketing message and then build out marketing sales collateral that actually works, that connects with the way our brains are wired by actually using story so that we can stand out from the noise of all the different things that folks are encountering in their lives and actually make a difference in their customers' lives.
They always say that the largest space in anybody's career, business career, whatever, is the distance between your ears.
Exactly.
Is that true?
That is true.
Sarah?
I say that to my clients all the time. The biggest space.
That's the biggest space right here. Well, that's why we do this every single Monday. It's because we want people to start off their week in a very positive sense, but also learn something and be able to take that nugget and transform it, move it forward, utilize it in our lives. And if you utilize it in your life, what people don't understand, when you do that and you help your clients, they grab onto those ideas and also help theirs. And so it's a pay it forward process. It really does. Pay it forward, pay it forward. And if you do that, we all get better at what we do. So is anyone else on here that has not been on before? I don't want to miss someone. This is your chance. Okay. Well, what I'm going to do is I'm going to throw this to Wes Kowalczyk up there in the Great White North. Wes, tell us about the Global Club.
The, the Global Business Club. You guys, we're in this virtual world, AI, technology, all this cool stuff. And now we get to extend our hands and make that international connection around the world. Super excited about being able to do this. Right here on the call, we have two continents involved already, which is kind of cool. We have some folks on here from South Africa. We usually have some folks on here from India. We have folks in here from Canada. We have folks in here from the United States. So I'm super stoked about how we can help build those connections, those relationships with business owners around the world. Make those introductions so that we can extend our business, our services, our offerings into other areas of the world to help grow businesses, help grow communities, and at the end of the day, help grow ourselves into better human beings. I'm super excited about that. So welcome everyone to the ACA Global Club Life Coffee.
Absolutely. And folks, we can take this thing, and we are going to be taking this thing to the whole another level. We've got some ideas and concepts that we're going to, the whole thing is we want to spread the word. And this is what it's called, ACA DNA. And if you have that, you want to give more than you take. And by the way, when you give, you get plenty back, more than plenty back. And so that's what we do here. And we do that on a consistent basis. I see it every single day here. So, all right. So I understand our guest is on.
Yes, Amira is here. Amira is here.
Amira, welcome to the Global Club Life Coffee. How are you?
I made it. I'm doing so good. Yeah, I'm having an amazing morning. Exciting.
What were you stuck in traffic on the 405?
Yeah.
You're in California.
Traffic during rush hour. It just gets so backed up.
Oh my. Well, they call it the 405 because you can go 4 miles in 5 miles in 5 hours. Is that right?
I've never heard that.
It's true, isn't it? I mean, that's what people literally watch movies in their car when they're driving home. So
yeah.
Anyway, so are you in LA? You in San Diego? Where are you located?
I'm in Santa Barbara.
Santa Barbara. Well, I didn't pick that one. There's a lot of places I could have chosen, right? So
yeah, I'm in Santa Barbara. I've been here about 2 years, but I'm born and raised in California. Lived here my whole life.
It's a beautiful state. You got deserts on one side, high mountains on the other. You can surf in the morning and ski in the afternoon. So it's an amazing state. So well, thank you so much. So what we're going to do, and this is how we do this thing. We're going to jump to a 5-minute breakout, and I know it's fast, but it gives us plenty of time to get to know the folks real quick on the call. So what you do on this is just like we do at a coffee. Find out what you can do for the other people on the breakout. Choose a leader that stops this thing and says, okay, so what can we do for you? Who can we introduce you to out of my sphere of influence? That's what we call it here. It's called guerrilla marketing, sphere of influence. Who can I introduce you to bless your lives today? So my magic gal behind the curtain, that's going to be a hyphenated name in the very near future. I don't know when, but in the future. She's going to take us. So Dr. Susan, the magician behind the curtain, the Wizard of Oz, it. We'll be back in 5 minutes. See you back in the big room.
And no, Karen, I'm not married. I'm here. I'm here. I'm here, baby.
I have to take myself off. Amir, how are you?
Hi, I'm doing. I almost put myself on mute, and then I remembered it's. I'm the one that's talking today.
We'll put Brian on mute. We'll all be better.
That's right. Hey, Scott, I'm going to send you a message. I'm just kidding, dude. So, Amir, you got to understand, a lot of us folks have known each other for a little while, and we've got some new folks up here. But at the end of the day, we all love each other. We're kind of like a dysfunctional family, especially Scott that's talking. We really try to pull him in and stuff. Sometimes it's hard to keep those marbles from rolling. Does he have any marbles? Anyway, rolling off the table. All right, so let's all welcome a great big ACA welcome to Amir from California. Hey, thank you so much for taking an hour out of your day, Amir. And we would love to have you on here more. What are you, like 2 hours? But so you're what, 7:20 there?
7 a.m. Nice and early. Yeah.
So are you an early riser? Is that in your DNA?
No, I am not. I mean, I'm not like too late in the day. Normally I'm up around this time between 7:30 and 8 is normally when I'm getting up.
Okay.
So yeah, I got up at 5:30 this morning, gave myself plenty of time to get ready, and it was a nice shift from my usual routine. So thank you guys for giving me a reason to get out of bed a little early.
It goes the other way, Amir. I can already tell. Look at the glow. You do. I mean, you know what is so amazing? That's why we do this coffee. I mean, people are people no matter where they're from. I mean, we have people out here from South Africa. All these folks really have the same motivation. It's what could I do to help you? Our vision. What is our vision? How can we help you get there? So I'm going to do some real quick facts about you. The reason we do that here at ACA is that's how we introduce people. And so if I was in a group and gathering and I'd say, hey, come over, I want to introduce you to Amir. You purchased a one-way ticket to Italy and you backpacked for 7 months trying to find your passion.
Mm-hmm. True story.
Holy cow, did you find it? What mountain did you go? Where'd you find your passion?
Yeah, I'll never forget that. I remember one of my last days at the office that I worked at, one of my colleagues, he was older than me. He had a little more perspective on life. And he said, what are you doing again? I said, I wanted to find what I'm passionate about. And he just looked me dead in the eye and he goes, you're not going to find your passion on this trip.
Did he say that?
He seriously said that. And you know what's funny is I reflect now so many years later, 10 years later, and I realized that he wasn't wrong. He actually wasn't wrong. I did not find my passion on that trip. It was really the coming back from that trip and having no car, no job, no savings, and no plan either that really pulled my passion out of me, because that was all I had left was, what's next. And being able to kind of have removed the path that I was on allowed me to really start creating a new path. And that path was more defined by my passions and my interests. So I have a lot more thoughts now about like finding your passion. But yeah, at the time it gave me a good chuckle.
And the reason this is so valuable for you to be dropped in here, everything we talk about, you've got personal life, you've got business life. They are connected. They're you cannot disconnect those two because they get out of balance and you're totally screwed. Because everybody's got a personal life and a business life. And if you are an entrepreneur, and by the way, I'm reading your lineage here, man, you're an entrepreneur. You've got things, you launched a wellness product. And what's the wellness product called?
Grateful ghee. So if you're familiar with ghee, it's like a clarified butter.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So what's that do?
Yeah, so it was actually, I took a trip to India and studied Ayurveda, which is like their medical system basically. And ghee is butter that has had all the water removed from it and all the milk removed from it. So it's just pure fat. It's extremely nutritious. It has a very high nutritional value. So if anyone is lactose intolerant or has any lactose sensitivity, or if you're just trying to get more healthy fats into your diet, people use ghee typically to cook with and as a replacement for oil or butter. So I was really inspired by my trip to India. And I came back and I was like, I kind of want to make some ghee. And just a quick story, I actually called my dad and told him about my idea. And he said, you know, you've been making ghee your entire life. And it turned out that in my family's from Syria. And in Syria, they call it semne, and semne is Arabic for butter. And it turned out my dad had this recipe that had been passed down to him that he passed down to me of how we made our ghee that's actually really different. So all the light bulbs went off and I just realized this is a great product. You know, it has value, it has personal meaning. And so that was really what pushed me to take that idea and run with it.
How do you find this? Is it online? Can you order it online, or do you do it in mass quantities? How are you marketing this?
Yeah, so I actually closed the business down when I opened my restaurant. I wasn't able to do both. I did for a little while, but the restaurant, you know, and we'll talk about that probably later, but the restaurant really took off and I couldn't keep sustaining both. So I actually closed the business and now I just sort of make it for friends and family, but I'm intending this year to bring it back as a legitimate business. So right now it's not really available anywhere unless you lived nearby me.
Can we send you an order, pre-order for it? Okay,
yeah.
good.
Yeah, absolutely.
I've never heard of this. That's absolutely amazing. It is amazing the foods out there. If we would just listen to nature and go back to the basics, everything's there to make you healthy, keep you healthy, to cure anything you've got, to make sure you don't get it to begin with. And that's the whole thing, it's preventative. So, all right. So quickly tell us about, thing says from fog to flow. What's up with that, girl?
Yeah. So something it's been a huge part of my personal journey. And specifically I'll reference kind of when I left the restaurant. So we built this restaurant kind of out of nowhere, my business partner and I. It was a total gamble. I had no intention of building a restaurant, but it really just kind of took off. And when I left that business, and it was, you know, like I said, pretty successful by all accounts, I had so many ideas of what I would do next. But I was putting actually a lot of pressure on myself to get it right and to follow up with something that was equally as impressive and equally as successful. And nothing felt good enough. And I actually had a really hard time starting over and finding my new identity now that I was leaving an old identity behind. So I didn't realize I had unconsciously raised that bar so high. And all of that pressure, that need to be certain, that to be excellent, you know, to get it right, that all creates fog and it really clouds your brain. And then your brain goes, well, we have to wait till we're 100% sure before we make a move. But what I've come to learn, and now what I work with a lot of people on, is that fog is just another form of weather. Right? It's just part of the journey. And when you wake up in the morning and it's foggy, you don't just give up on the whole day. You find a way to make it work, right? You change your clothing, you dress more appropriately, you put your high beams on, you drive a little bit slower, you adjust your journey to accommodate for the weather. And that was really kind of what stood out to me when I was in that moment of fog. So it doesn't mean you're on the wrong path. And that's really what I want to, you know, impress upon people, that having fog is not an indication that you're on the wrong path. It just means you've reached an edge, right? It means something important is shifting. And oftentimes fog is a sign that fear is present. And fear usually shows up when we're about to expand. So instead of trying, go ahead, Brian.
No, go ahead.
Instead of trying to force clarity, I really invite people to pay attention to those signs. So, you know, what do you keep thinking about, even if you're trying to ignore it, right? Or where are you maybe waiting still for permission to explore it or pursue an idea? So when you can kind of start naming that fear, naming what's holding you back, and get really honest about maybe where you're putting pressure on yourself, that's when the fog kind of starts to thin, starts to lift. So it's not that everything magically clicks. It's more that you're reclaiming your power in your business. And that's where the momentum can begin.
So what kind of restaurant was it?
So the restaurant's called The Hidden Kitchen. If you ever come to California, if you are driving up the coast like PCH, it's right on the coast, and it's blue corn waffles and smoothies. So we actually came up with a Belgian waffle made out of blue corn masa. So it's actually blue. And then we loaded all kinds of stuff on top, sweet stuff, savory stuff. So our most popular is we have like a chipotle aioli instead of butter. And then 2 fried eggs, sunny side up, half an avocado, and then bacon bits sprinkled on top. And yeah, that one hit it out of the park.
So you're still doing this restaurant?
So the restaurant's still open, but I sold it to my business partner.
Okay, all right.
My ownership, yeah. So she's still running it.
It sounds like you've got all the. I mean, you look at the different. Now you're a bridal stylist, and we'll get into that in just a little bit. And what I always try to do is I connect this with all the people online. What can you learn from what you've gone through? How long did you own your restaurant?
About 5 years.
5 years. What did you learn from the fog, going from the fog of, because people have fear. Everybody has fear of something. They do. Yeah. If they don't, they're a Navy SEAL or SEAL Team 6. I don't know. Anyway, they probably have fears too, but they just don't tell you. They control them. They control them and manage them. What would you tell people online here that go, man, I just can't make that. I can't make that cold call. Oh, I can't. I'm not organized. I need to get my CRM. Whatever. What would you tell them coming from the angle of, look, I mean, at your young age, because obviously you're young or you're extraordinarily both probably preserved. You're very healthy, obviously. What would you tell them? What would one thing that you could offer, tidbits of folks here online that go, I'm just really struggling with these things. And what did you find that the solution was to your fog? And I know you said a few things, but really just one thing.
Mm-hmm. I have found the solution to my fog. I would say it's kind of twofold, right? And some people might not like one part of the answer, so I'll give two to cover everybody.
All right.
Yeah. So the first part is the micro steps, right? I like to call it like a micro pilot. So when I feel frozen, when I feel like I don't know what direction to go, for me, it's always worked really, really well to break things down into very, very, very small steps. Very small as possible. And that worked for me really well when I was building my first business, Grateful Ghee. My goal was to just sell 1 jar of ghee. Oftentimes if you're entrepreneurial, if you're a visionary, it's very difficult when you get excited about an idea. We often take it to as far as our vision lets us go. And sometimes that's like a multi-million-dollar company. And now you're sitting here in your office thinking, how do I get started on that? And all of a sudden this idea has become so big, so overwhelming. All the steps just feel so huge. So I try to get out ahead of that and break it down into just the smallest step. What's the smallest step you can take that's going to really force you to make some moves, take a step, but it's really manageable. So the micro pilot idea. So that's one idea. The other one, and some people might not like this as much, but the other one is to slow down and to go inward and to tune in and listen. And you'll be shocked at actually how much guidance your subconscious is giving you, whether that's in your dreams, whether that's in conversations you're having with people, whether that's just in paying attention to what lights you up, what elicits response in your physical body. That gives us so much information. Sometimes it's telling us the path we don't want to go down. Sometimes when you choose to micro pilot an idea, you might find actually none of these steps sound good. Not the smallest step I have to take, I don't actually want to. And sometimes that's what clarity needs to look like, is eliminating options just as much as narrowing in on the ones that you actually do want to pursue. So those have kind of been my 2 approaches. Break it down into a small step, something I know I can do to kind of test this idea, and then get quiet, turn inward, pay attention to the guidance, to the signs that I am getting pay attention and tune into my physical body and what kind of responses I have to different ideas, and use that as information. So we're always getting signs, but sometimes we're just not tuned into them.
So I cheated a little bit because I do know that you are wrapping up certification in stress and burnout coaching. So I wanted to I threw you a softball there and you hit it way out of the park. I just really, you really did. When you look at that, I mean, this is where, the smallest steps, how do you eat an elephant? You eat it one bite at a time. So when you look at this, you can't do everything that day. So you've really got to look at it and say, here are the compartmentalized aspects of what I'm doing. And I love what you've said, because it really is, at the end of the day, it's about getting things finished and done. And some things you got to throw away. Maybe do them later. Maybe that's something you could add in later. So, and what's this bridal stylist? Now you're doing that. I mean, my God, how many different things? You're definitely a serial entrepreneur.
Yeah, so actually I think they're a little out of order. But so after I quit my job and came back, I needed a job that my parents could drop me off at because I didn't have a car.
Okay.
So I went to this shopping center near my parents' house, and there was a coffee shop and a florist and a bridal boutique. And I applied for all three, and I got the job at the bridal boutique. And so that was the first job I had after I had quit my corporate job.
Right.
I came back and I was just selling wedding dresses, but I totally fell in love with it. And it lit me up. You can even see when I talk about it. It was the time of my life. And it was the first time I ever realized you can make money doing something you love. Not only that, but it feels so good to do something you love and be able to support yourself. And so that was really my first experience with that. And I miss it all the time. But unfortunately, it's been many years since I've dabbled in selling wedding dresses.
Well, I have a funny feeling maybe this just brought those creative juices about that out here. And you're going to try to figure out how you can couple what you're basically doing with this coaching and also do the bridal stuff.
Yeah, it's funny because when I look back on, and this might be something worth, an exercise worth doing for each of you. When I look back on my kind of entrepreneurial journey or my business journey, I see this common thread where even though I was, finding myself in wildly different positions, right? Owning a wellness company, making food, opening a restaurant, selling wedding dresses, coaching executives. But the common thread was that I was looking for opportunities to connect with people in whatever form I could. And so that was sort of the thread that I realized this is where I shine. This is what really draws me in. I don't want to be doing something that doesn't allow me to tap into this part of myself, because clearly this is what lights me up. So it's always really interesting to kind of look back at your career with sort of a macro lens, and try to find, is there a subtle undercurrent that kind of connects each of these opportunities that might give you some insight as far as what's the thing you've kind of searched for in every opportunity that you've pursued?
Right. Well, I tell you what, we're going to run out of time. This is what just amazes me. This hour goes by so flipping fast. So we're going to go to our breakout. But you and Susan have a very creative idea about a breakout. So why don't you give us the rules? I love rules. Give us the rules.
Yeah. Okay. So I love like a good interactive exercise. So I hope you guys are willing and down to play the game with me. So this is called the Idea Gauntlet, and it's meant to be kind of quick and fun and fast paced, and just like a kind of a lighthearted way to break out of overthinking and to help you get some momentum on an idea. So what you're going to do is you'll get a couple minutes to come up with 2 to 3 ideas that you've been circling on. So it could be a business offer. It could be just a direction to take your business, maybe content idea or a service you want to bring, anything you've been spinning on, and just jot it down in 2 or 3 words. Okay, so you'll have 2 to 3 ideas in just a couple words each, right? And then you'll go into your breakout groups, and when it's your turn, you're going to share your 2 to 3 ideas with the group. And then someone in the group is going to have 4 of our rapid fire questions, and they're going to ask you for your quick answer. I'm not going to tell you the questions ahead of time because I don't want you to be able to prepare for them, because it's meant to kind of just be quick and kind of put you on the spot a little bit. But they'll be easy questions. You'll pick whichever of your ideas applies the most, and it'll give you a little bit of insight to which idea might be worth pursuing. And each person will get a turn to go through their ideas.
I love it.
And Amira, I have given those to each of the people. So if you haven't checked the chat, you might be one of the leaders of your group. So check the chat and the questions are there. And so Amira, can we take a little bit of time right now for them to write down their ideas? Do you want to give them the instruction again real quick and they can write them down before the breakout?
Okay, perfect. So everybody grab a piece of paper, or if you're on your computer, you can open somewhere up and just take a couple minutes and think about 2 or 3 ideas that you have been bouncing around in your head. So maybe you've been wanting to offer an additional service, or perhaps package your current services a little bit differently. Maybe you want to pursue a completely different business idea, or a whole new career. I mean, these can be big ideas. Make them the ones that have been weighing on you on the top of your list, the first ones that really come to mind. It could be a fun content idea that you've been thinking about. Anything that feels like you want to flush this one out.
Excellent. Okay, you voluntold people that are on, look in the chat for the voluntold leader. Take this. We're going to ask these questions rapid fire. We're going to go back in 13 minutes. I love that number. You throw salt over their right or left shoulder. Anyway, it doesn't matter. So we're going to, I'm not superstitious. So we're going to come back in 13 minutes. And then I'm going to let you put a big bow on this, a California gold bow. How about that?
California. I love that. So I'm just going to say the names of the leaders in case you haven't went to your chat. Jean, Jillian, Dan Chang, Jim Meadows, Amira, Michelle, and Brian. All right. So if you don't have the questions, my text number, well, actually just go to the chat and you will find them. Okay. So here we go. Thank you all. Thank you so much.
Right. See you back in the big room in 13 minutes. Get some stuff done. Make it happen.
What's for breakfast?
Yeah, I was just thinking, oh my gosh, I'm just eating right here on screen.
Well, you got to eat sometime.
So I'm like, I'm like, just completely forgetting about it. I'm like, all right, I've got 2 minutes left. I better hurry up. Anyway, sorry to show you my breakfast. Literally. How are you doing?
Oh, we're all pretty good. Yeah, things are
Yeah.
good.
I know I asked you before, but I just am like, now that nobody's around, how are you?
It's terrible. Oh,
But you're still being recorded, so
okay. That's funny. Somebody in 100 years from now, yeah, there's Susan and Hutch talking behind the scenes.
they thought it was just between themselves.
It went viral.
Oh, wait, I meant to be recording you.
That's funny.
Oh, we've got people popping back in. Ron's back in, and I have not even ended the thing yet. Oh, he went right back out.
Mm.
I think I scared him.
How's life is it you live in Kansas City?
I do. So I don't, were you on? You were on when I said I got engaged.
Yes, congratulations.
Yes, thank you.
Awesome.
So things are going well here for me.
Yeah, well, I can tell you're all smiles.
Yes, I am. How long have
That's
you been married?
30 years.
Oh, because I knew it had been a while.
Yeah.
I want to
Pros,
have.
pros and cons to that, you know.
Oh my gosh, I gotta find the breakout room so I can end it. Close all rooms, close all rooms. I went and popped in all of the rooms just to see if they needed any help. And then I
Hmm.
realized Jim Meadows hadn't even gotten my message. And I don't know why, because I looked and I definitely did send it. But I'm glad I popped in the message because then I could text it to him. So I just went through all of them, just make sure that they were good.
Hmm.
Uh, whew, I'm really glad I did that. Anyway, I just want to share that with you. So I'm going to text, not sure what happened. And then I'm going to put my photo.
Yeah, you only have 6 minutes.
Well, now it's time. I'm inviting everybody back. Here's a few people already back in the room.
Yeah.
Yeah, so what? I'm just kidding.
Yeah, we're talking about you and Tim King. Now that guy's a problem. I don't know how well you know Tim, but
I
I
don't
was just giving him a
I think I've
compliment.
seen him, but I don't know him.
Hey, I get built up on one side and taken down on the other.
I heard a lot of problems with him.
that's the way we roll. And I apologize, Jim. I'm not sure what happened there, why it didn't go through to you, but I did take a picture to show you. I actually did send it to you. So we'll have to check that and see what happened. But thank you all for letting me pop into your different rooms. And thank goodness I did, because the message didn't make it to Jim. So I'm thankful for all of you to go through this exercise with Amira. All right, giving back to you, Brian.
All right, Dr. Susan, soon to be not single anymore. So anyway, guys and gals, thank you so much. You know what? Before the end here, we've got about 5 minutes for her to put a golden bow, Colorado gold or California golden bow on this. There she is. We want to give her a big round of applause. Thank you. Come on, ACA. Yeah.
Thank you.
Every single time, if you don't learn something, you're not listening. This gal, I have no idea how she's done what she's done in the short period of time she's been on this earth. Either that or she really, really reserves well, because she is, I'm just absolutely stunned. And I keep reading all of her stuff. I haven't even gotten into all of it. She had 2 restaurants sold out all the time. Is that correct?
Yes, yeah, that's correct. 2 restaurants.
Okay, so 2 restaurants.
Yeah.
So what a great idea. You didn't know it'd work, but it just didn't go from, you didn't get 1, you went 2, and they're both there. So that's absolutely amazing. All right, well, thank you so much. We don't have time to go into, we're going to have, would you come back?
I would love to. What an incredible group of people. Wow.
Well, I can tell you how you can help us. Why don't you
Yeah.
start one? Why don't you start one? We're franchising ACA. Why don't you start one of these out there?
Oh, I love that.
Or become a virtual member. How about that?
I would be very interested. I would
Okay,
love
we'll keep that. That was my sales pitch. Actually, I don't sell ACA, Amir. It sells itself, and it's about the vision, and it's the people. Culture here is the way it is because of the people that are here. We're like motivated, not like minded. And I love that. I love that word. I do. We've got, personal equity buckets that are totally full. You might slop a little bit out if you screw up, but the people that know you are going to give you grace. And at the end of the day, that's all you can ask. I'm going to screw up. There's no question. Everybody does. But it's how do you deal with that? So, all right. I would love to go through all these different ideas and stuff. Are you writing a book? Are you going to write a book?
I would love to one day. Yeah. I mean, I have so much more I'd love to share with you guys. And I think the common theme we all have here is when you choose the road less traveled, when you choose to develop yourself, you sign up for a life of ups and downs. It's just not a straight path, but the life of ups and downs gets you so much further, so much faster than a straight path ever will. So yeah, I love talking about that.
Well, I would love you to put a bow. What would you like us to do this week to make a difference in our lives? Give us one nugget that we have to perform this, and you call us back next week. I'm just kidding. Call us back next week and see if we did it.
Yeah, so I would say going off the idea gauntlet, if there was one idea that really stood out to you, I would encourage you to practice interrupting your overthinking this week. See what comes up when you get out of your own head, get out of your own way, and choose one small step you can make towards that idea, whether it was the one that lit you up the most, the one that was just the easiest. Pick one of those ideas and take one small step towards it and get out of your own way.
Well, I can tell you, Amir, there's a gentleman on here, Scott Behan, and he's written 2 books. And there's a gal out there that helps people write books. She's done over 200 to get people organized to do the books. That's her job. So I think if you ever decide, when you decide to write a book, she'd be the gal to go to because she can help streamline the process. So,
or she can talk to me, Brian, either way.
What? Oh, geez, there's Jean. You can talk to. Hey, by the way, Jean's from the UK. You believe this? This is worldwide. I'm telling you, worldwide. So, Jean, why don't you put your connection, your comments, or your connection in the chat, and you two guys need to get together. You need to write a book. Stop procrastinating. Do it. I'm just kidding.
Yeah.
Like you've got so much on your plate. I swear to you, that is just amazing. So, all right, ladies and gentlemen, we have about a minute and a half. Dr. Susan, any words of wisdom after you said yes? How long did it take you to say yes when you were asked?
It was right away. Yeah.
Well, I need to hear the story. You're gonna have to tell the story.
It involved me getting to take a nap. So it was like, yeah, he knows me.
Anyway, Dr. Susan, you did it. You did another home run here. Amir, we will stay in contact. Would love to have you involved in this, and would love to have you back. So, ladies and gentlemen, go out there and make a difference in somebody's life this week. Call a friend you haven't talked to in a while, because you never know what they're going through. You never, ever know. They have issues like we all do, but just a friendly phone call, just say, how you doing? What can I do for you? Is absolutely amazing. So have a great week. We're just coming right up on the 10 o'clock hour. Amir, thank you again so very much for taking the time out of your day to do this and get up early. Yeah. Jean, you guys need to connect. Get that. She's writing 24 books. That's why Jean.
Wow.
Yeah, 24.
Wow.
She's a little overachiever. I mean, come on.
A little bit.
A little bit. Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, Dr. Susan, thank you so much for this absolutely amazing young lady for the interview today. Actually, it was just a talk. It was a chat. So,
it was so fun. Yeah, this was so great.
I'm so glad you had a good time. We sure did. To you that people learned something. We'll see you next week. Invite someone that will thank you for it. Bye.
Amir, if you can hang around just a second.
Sure.
I just wanted to say that was great. So good. Got the creative juices flowing. I popped in, like I said, in all the groups, and I don't know why I came on and said all that, take away time, but I just, it was great. I heard great things. People were excited. Yeah. So, and I love this. I think you've really inspired me that this is a great way to do breakout rooms, to give them these things to, questions and yeah.
Yeah. So everybody got it and it seemed like it flowed okay.
Yeah. I mean, as far as I could tell, whenever I popped in, I know there was one breakout room that they hadn't really started yet. And so, cause they were still like tidying up some little things that people had questions about. So then they started, but I didn't get to hear that, but I did get to hear them start. But I'll be reaching out to get you back on at some point because
Yeah.
you're so great. I knew it. I knew you'd be awesome. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Susan. Honestly, this was so fun. I was not expecting it to be so full of energy, so kind and welcoming, and open. I really have not experienced. I didn't sound silly. I didn't know groups like this exist. It's very, very cool.
Oh, I
Very
love it. Well, Wes is definitely your connection because
Awesome.
he is in charge of the Global Club Life Coffee. So he's the one. If you haven't gotten connected, I know Wes is going to make it happen. He's the one that's going to make sure you can get connected and possibly one day start a club out there because we could really use California to be amazing. So, all right.
Yeah.
Well, I'm going to get off of here now, but you have a wonderful day.
You too, Susan. Take care.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye, everybody. Bye.